Have you ever felt the weight of time pressing down on you? The realization that days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, yet the dreams you once held so close remain distant. The goals you set for yourself are still out of reach. You wake up to the same routine, going through the motions of life, waiting for a change that never comes. You wonder why some people break free, push forward, and create the lives they desire, while others remain trapped in cycles of hesitation and inaction. What is this invisible force that keeps you bound to stagnation, to an existence that feels like it's slipping through your fingers? Today, we are going to expose the silent enemy, an enemy that thrives in the shadows of your mind, convincing you that waiting is wisdom, that hesitation is safety, that tomorrow is always a better day to start. But what if I told you that tomorrow never truly comes? That the only moment you ever have is now, and that by the end of the speech you will not only understand the nature of this force but also learn how to break free from its grasp, to step into a life of action, purpose, and unstoppable forward momentum. Passivity is one of the most insidious psychological traps. A slow, creeping paralysis that seeps into your thoughts, your habits, your identity. It masquerades as patience, as caution, as the illusion of careful deliberation. But beneath this disguise, it is a poison that dulls your ambitions, erodes your confidence, and steals your potential, convinces you that waiting is the safest option, that action is too risky, that the unknown is something to be feared rather than embraced. But where does this passivity come from? Why do some people push forward despite uncertainty, despite fear, despite obstacles, while others remain frozen in place? Psychologists have explored this phenomenon for decades, and one of the most profound explanations comes from Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology. He introduced the concept of learned helplessness, a psychological state where individuals, after experiencing repeated failure, rejection, or discouragement, begin to believe that their efforts are meaningless, that they are powerless to change their circumstances. Over time, this belief solidifies into an identity, shaping behavior, limiting potential, becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. But failure is not the only cause of passivity. In fact, one of the most dangerous causes is something far more subtle, something far more deceptive, something that many people mistake for happiness: comfort. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to fall into a routine, even when that routine is unfulfilling, even when it leaves you feeling empty, even when it is far from the life you truly desire? The human brain is wired for safety, for predictability, for stability. In the past, this instinct ensured the survival of our ancestors, preventing them from taking unnecessary risks that could threaten their existence. But in the modern world, this instinct often works against us, keeping us confined within the boundaries of our comfort zones. Comfort is seductive. It whispers in your ear that you have time, that you can start tomorrow, that you should wait for the perfect moment. But here is the brutal truth: there is no perfect moment. There is only now. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take action. This is the true danger of passivity. It does not announce itself with alarms. It does not appear as an obvious threat. Instead, it operates in silence, in stillness, in the spaces between decisions. It convinces you that staying put is safer than stepping forward, that avoiding discomfort is better than embracing growth, that the life you want is just out of reach, when in reality, it is simply waiting for you to claim it. But what is the true cost of passivity? What happens when hesitation, avoidance, and inaction become the defining forces of your life? Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, explored this question in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He argued that the primary drive of human beings is not pleasure, as Freud believed, nor power, as Nietzsche suggested, but meaning. According to Frankl, when people lack a sense of meaning, they drift through life aimlessly, trapped in a state of stagnation and emptiness. And nothing strips life of meaning more than passivity. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Was it in a moment of hesitation, waiting, avoiding challenges? Or was it when you stepped outside your comfort zone, took a leap of faith, and pursued something meaningful? The truth is, meaning is not found in passivity. It is created through action. But here is the question that most people never ask themselves. If passivity is so harmful, why do we continue to fall into it? Why do we remain stuck? Even when we know we should be moving forward, the answer may surprise you. And once you understand it, everything will change. Passivity does not just stem from fear, from comfort, from hesitation. There is a hidden force behind it that most people never recognize. An invisible chain that keeps millions of people locked in place, unable to move forward. It is not laziness, not a lack of motivation, not even a fear of failure. It is something far more deceptive, something far more powerful: identity paralysis. Identity paralysis happens when you unconsciously define yourself by your current limitations rather than your potential. It is the belief that this is just the way I am, that I have always been this way, that change is beyond your reach. And when you believe that your personality, habits, and behaviors are fixed, change feels impossible. Think about it. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with discipline, how likely are you to stick to a new habit? If you believe you are not a natural leader, will you ever step up when confidence is required? If you convince yourself that you are bad at making decisions, will you ever truly take control of your life? Your identity shapes your actions, and your actions shape your future. This is why people remain stuck in cycles of passivity. Not because they cannot change, but because they do not believe they can change. But the truth is, every great transformation begins with a shift in identity, a shift in mindset, a shift in action. And once you realize this, once you step beyond the limits of who you think you are, everything changes. Imagine standing at the edge of your own potential, staring into the unknown, feeling the weight of hesitation pressing down on your chest. You know deep inside that something must change. You feel the pull of your dreams, the distant echo of the life you were meant to live, yet you remain frozen. Not because you lack ambition, not because you lack intelligence, but because something deeper holds you back. Passivity is not just an action. It is not simply the absence of movement. It is a force, a silent controller that infiltrates the mind. It disguises itself as patience, caution, or wisdom, but beneath its mask lies something more dangerous. Passivity is the slow decay of potential, the gradual erosion of who you could become. And if left unchecked, it will rob you of the most precious thing you own: your time. Time is the one resource you will never get back. You can recover from failure. You can rebuild after loss. You can adapt, grow, and transform. But time is relentless. It does not pause. It does not wait for you to feel ready. It moves forward, indifferent to your hesitation. And every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. If you continue to hesitate, you will wake up one day realizing that years have passed, and the life you once dreamed of is nothing more than a distant memory. But why does passivity have such a strong grip on you? Why do you resist change even when you know it is necessary? The answer is not simple. It is not just fear, not just comfort, not just overthinking. It is something more fundamental. It is the way you perceive yourself, the way you define your identity. Many people remain trapped in their current circumstances because they have unknowingly accepted a false truth about themselves. They believe they are not the type of person who takes bold action. They believe that confidence is something you are born with, not something you build. They believe that discipline is a trait reserved for the select few, not something anyone can cultivate. But these beliefs are not reality. They are illusions, stories you have been told, and stories you have repeated to yourself over and over again until they became part of your identity. To break free from passivity, you must shatter these illusions. You must redefine who you are, not based on your past, but based on your potential. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. If you want to be disciplined, start making disciplined choices. If you want to be courageous, start taking courageous actions. Do not wait for the feeling to come first. Action creates the feeling, not the other way around. But even once you understand this truth, another challenge remains. The mind resists change, craves stability, predictability, and control. It is wired to protect you from the unknown. And that is why fear arises every time you consider stepping outside your comfort zone. Fear is not your enemy. It is a signal, a compass pointing towards growth. The very thing you fear most is often the very thing you must confront to unlock your true potential. Throughout history, the greatest figures of all time have understood this truth. They did not wait for fear to disappear before they acted. They acted despite the fear. They knew that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward in spite of it. And because of this, they changed the world. The same is true for you. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the willingness to take the first step. But taking that step is not always easy. The mind is powerful, and it will find endless ways to keep you in place. It will tell you that you need more time, that you need to be more prepared, that you should wait for the perfect moment. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. And if you do not act now, you risk never acting at all. So how do you finally break free from the grip of passivity? How do you stop waiting and start moving? The answer lies in radical responsibility. The moment you fully accept that your life is in your hands, everything changes. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more blaming circumstances or the past. You are not a victim of fate. You are the architect of your future. Every decision you make is shaping the life you will live. Radical responsibility means understanding that success is not about having the perfect plan. It is about making a choice and taking action even in uncertainty. It means accepting that failure is not the opposite of success but a necessary part of the journey. It means realizing that growth does not happen overnight, but through consistent action, day after day, until momentum builds and change becomes inevitable. This is the truth that most people never realize. They believe that extraordinary lives are built on extraordinary moments. But in reality, extraordinary lives are built on ordinary decisions, repeated consistently. The small choices you make each day. The moments where you choose action over hesitation, discipline over comfort, courage over fear. These are the moments that define you. So ask yourself right now, what kind of life do you want to create? Who do you want to become? And most importantly, what will you do today to take one step closer to that vision? Because at the end of your life, you will not remember the moments you hesitated. You will not remember the days you spent waiting, the opportunities you let slip away. You will remember the moments you took action, the risks you embraced, the times you chose to step forward instead of stepping back. The choice is yours, always has been, always will be. The question is, will you take it?